It all started deep in the woods, behind an old waterfall. I found a cave there that isn't even on the maps. It was pitch black, but then I saw a blue glow in the corner. Tucked away in some soft moss were two eggs, one coal black and one pearl white. I knew right away they were special. I had to get them out of there before wild animals found them. I carefully tucked them into my bag and sprinted home. Once I got back, I set up a warm nest using soft towels and high-powered heat lamps. The first 3 days were brutal. I barely slept, constantly checking the temp and listening for any signs of life. I even played thunderstorm sounds so they'd feel at home. It was the longest wait of my life. And I honestly started to think the eggs were duds. But on the fourth night, the black eggs suddenly started shaking and rolling across the box. "Quiet, guys, listen!" I heard a tiny scratch coming from the black egg. And then crack! The first little fracture appeared. I froze, literally holding my breath, and then a tiny black nose poked through the shell. It was Titan! He tumbled out, all clumsy, and looked at me with these huge, bright yellow eyes. He was so tiny he could fit right in the palm of my hand. His fur was still soft, and his ears kept twitching. Titan immediately started sniffing my fingers, looking for food. But the white egg was still dead silent. Titan walked over, nudged it with his paw, and gave it a little poke with his snout, like he was telling his new friend to hurry up and come out to play. Suddenly, the white egg started glowing from the inside. The light was so bright it lit up the whole room. The shell shattered into tiny pieces, like a mini firework. She was stunning. Her scales shimmered like fresh snow in the sun. And there she was, the Azure Python. She turned out to be way faster than Titan, immediately zooming across the desk and pouncing on my pencils and notebooks. Now I had two baby beasts living in my house. It was total chaos. They started wrestling on the rug and nipping at each other's tails. They were just like kittens, only much deadlier. First, I tried fresh apples. Titan took one sniff, sneezed, and just swiped the fruit off the table. Then I brought out some hot, cheesy pizza. The Azure Python went for it instantly. She inhaled it in a second. Turns out, she's got a major sweet tooth for human food. When I brought out a giant, juicy watermelon. Titan leaped on top of it and started shredding the rind with his claws. Within a minute, my entire kitchen was covered in sticky red juice. They ate that watermelon so fast, they literally doubled in size in one night. But I knew they'd grow fast, and I needed to find them some real food, fast. I watched their arms get longer and their legs get stronger right before my eyes. I also gave them some fish. The second I pulled out the salmon, Titan snatched it straight out of my hand. Those hunter instincts were definitely kicking in.
A week went by, and my pets became a huge problem.
They're now the size of large grizzly bears. Plus, the Azure Python unlocked a superpower, invisibility. Imagine this. I hear someone rustling a bag of cookies in the kitchen. I walk in, and nobody's there. It was creepy and hilarious at the same time. But then, Titan accidentally showed his strength. Right into my TV, it shattered in a split second. They were knocking over vases, shredding curtains, and they were dying to get outside.
I had to build them a backyard sanctuary, ASAP.
We moved to the backyard. I spent all morning building a massive enclosure out of wood and stone. For Titan, I built high platforms so he could practice his pounces. I got them toys too. Massive rubber tires that they ripped to shreds in 5 minutes. Titan got so big, I can actually sit on his back now. But there was a problem. I spotted a small black drone in the sky. Someone had been watching us for a long time. We couldn't stay there. We had to leave.
We ran deep into the forest, hoping to lose them.
Titan and the Azure Python moved incredibly fast through the trees. For a moment, I thought we were safe. We climbed up a steep rocky cliff to get to higher ground. Suddenly, a loud siren echoed through the mountains. 2 heavily armed attack helicopters appeared over the ridge. The shockwave was insane. They hovered above us, their spotlights absolutely blinding me. He let out a yell. The wind from the blades was tearing up the ground. They threw down the ropes. Soldiers fast roped to the ground. Aiming their rifles right at us. I thought it was over. I slowly raised my hands, completely terrified. But Titan wasn't having it. He stepped right in front of me, shielding me with his massive body. He let out a yell. And slammed his massive fists into the ground. The shockwave was insane, right off their feet. Glowing with intense spiritual energy. Then, the Azure Python uncloaked right above them. The pressure she gave off was so heavy, the helicopters started spinning out of control. The military realized they were completely outmatched. They scrambled back and retreated. So we weren't just a guy and his pets anymore, we were family. And nobody was taking them from me.